guys, I thought they were really loud. Like the lower bowl was full and they were loud. Like it felt like there was more fans that were in there than what was actually there. So, I think to see that it was the second highest crowd of any of the NIT first round games, I think that just shows that people are going to show up here, in retrospect to some of those other games. So I think, I do expect that more people would be there on Saturday since it's a 6:00 game.
Yeah, and you got to give it some framing here, as you mentioned, because I saw the number at the pit for New Mexico's game against Sam Houston, and they got 7,500, and I was like, well, that's not very good. They usually get 15,000. But then when we saw the numbers, Nevada at Lawler and the pit were like two of the highest attended games. And we're talking like Wake Forest at 1,800, Tulsa had like 1,700. So good for the Reno community for coming out and supporting the Wolfpack. I want to get back to one of the guys on the team, and man, he's coming on down the stretch here, and I think he's one of the key guys to keep around. We talked about him, I think, last week, but man, Weems did it again. He had another good game. That guy, I think they're just scratching the surface with him. He's a lefty. He's a pretty big, strong dude, making the adjustment from lower levels. To me, he's a keeper. Obviously, they have to keep Price, and I think that's the most dangerous guy who could bounce elsewhere for a lot of money. But Weems is really emerging.
I couldn't agree more with you. I think it just felt like last night, like Weems was like just in like turbo mode. Like it just seemed like in the second half, like there was just this different switch that was just on really for the whole game. But just in the second half, I think 15 of his 23 points were in the second half. He was making plays on defense. I think just he's really come into his own. I mean, it was so cool too. Like at the end of the Mountain West tournament, just to see how he had thanked Corey Camper Jr. before he got off the podium there when they lost to Utah State, and just wanted to thank him for like helping him become this player that he is this year. And I just thought that was such a cool moment to see. And it's been really fun just to watch him in particular, and just to see how his teammates are feeding off of him too. I think, Corey Camper had a great game. Elijah Price was doing some good things on the backboard. I think all the guys were really just feeding off of him last night, but I think certainly in the off season, it's going to be key to certainly keep him and Elijah Price too.
You actually got, I think, Steve Alford to smile a little bit. What was the cake talk before and after the game?
Yeah, so it was Cullen Neal's birthday to boot. He wasn't just coming here to Reno, but it was his birthday. So playing against his dad, and Coach Alford had said it. I spoke with him Sunday night right after the field was announced, and he said it's Cullen's birthday. We'll get him a cake. I'm not sure about any other gifts, or he can have whatever else he wants, but as long as he leaves with a loss. So I had to ask Coach last night if they did indeed get him a cake, but it sounds like there were a lot of birthdays around the Alford community and the coaching staff last night. So yeah, that was kind of funny, but just kind of crazy how both of these teams were on the same international trip in the Bahamas over the summer too. The NCAA didn't grant them a waiver, so they didn't play against each other, but spent a lot of time there and were able to play against each other in March. I think that was something no one really saw coming back in August.
Fan and Kelly, Nevada Sports Nuts up on ESPN Reno and ESPN Las Vegas. Liberty is next. What time and when is the game?
So the game's on Saturday at 6:00. Liberty won over George Mason on the road on Tuesday night. So close game down the stretch. They were able to pull away late at the end. And another head coach in Richie McKay, who was also head coach at New Mexico right before head coach Steve Alford. He's been at Liberty since 2015, and head coach Steve Alford spoke really highly of his program. And, so they know they're going to have a tough test. When the Flames do come to town, they got to make the trip and make the travel. But I think it should be a good game come Saturday night. I think it's going to be a close one.
And clearly the players, the way they played, are enthusiastic. They talked about the NIT going in. They were fired up to be here, fired up to continue playing. Yeah,
we did not speak with any of them after the game last night, so don't want to speak for them after the game there. But given the energy on the floor, and they were pretty stoked when we spoke with them before the game last night against Murray State. When we spoke with them on Monday, they were stoked. They're like, we're all so close. We want to keep this thing going for as long as we can. And, they're like, why not us? Why not, try and hang a banner? Like, why not have something to show for this great season that we've had?
Well, being enthusiastic going into this thing it makes a big difference. There are many times teams that are dead men walking, and San Diego State decided to pass on the whole thing. And so did Leon Rice. He had a weird line. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I noticed that you kind of shouted out Sonny Wicks, who they wound up losing. Wyoming did in their first game, but Wicks once again showed enthusiasm, and this is the second time, to my knowledge, he's referenced his wife, right? Because is his wife a teacher? Is that what it is? Yeah, she's a teacher. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact line off the top of my.
Yeah, basically, it was like, my wife can't just wake up and say, "Hey, I'm not going to work today." And his whole thing was like, "Hey, we get a chance to play more basketball. Let's play basketball."
Yeah, like she doesn't have a choice. She can't just not show up to work being a teacher. Like these guys, if we're paying you to come to school and you're getting paid NIL money, like you should be playing. Like, yes, I get it. Every team has their own situation and circumstances and all of that. But I just think the general landscape of college sports today, like there's just so much that has just changed since I was a student athlete. You know, the NIL, transfer portal, none of that existed. So much has just changed that, you know, I think it's just interesting because I think too, like with some of these teams that did say opt out, whether, you know, health or X, Y, and Z didn't have enough players, but if they were playing if they got an NCAA tournament, like bid, would they be opting out of that? I don't know. It's interesting, but I just thought that was a great quote from him because he's trying to build this into a top mid-major program and he's trying to do everything he can with the resources that he has.
Every day we're on in Reno, Monday to Friday, right here on Cofield & Company. The spot is brought to you by this hour. Battleborn Injury Lawyers, 766-1400. Let's close on this one. Nevada getting a much earlier start than UNLV in terms of spring practice, and saw that you guys had a conversation with arguably the best player who was available to come back. And Jeff Choate did a good job of retention. I wanted you to mention one of the defensive linemen and his explanation about why he stayed around.
Yeah, Dylan Lavabera. He put up All-American numbers last season. He was on the All Mountain West first team. But, you know, he said it really wasn't hard for him to make it wasn't a thought really about trying to go somewhere else because he's like, I love it here. These guys took a shot on me. I feel like I owe everything to them and couldn't see himself playing anywhere else. And I think that just speaks volumes, just especially in this era of, you know, everyone may think that the grass is greener on the other side and, you know, maybe it is and maybe it isn't. Everyone's situation is different, but this is a guy who just loves Nevada and loves this program. And I think that just speaks a lot of volumes and hopefully there's more players in college sports that can continue to be loyal to the programs that recruited them. I feel like if we keep Shannon on for another 30 seconds, she's going to go with the back in my day. Yes. And she's not old. I did that earlier, but let's never get there. Let's never get to that point. Hey, Shannon, it has been like 10 years. I know, okay? but don't, you're not old. Hey, we appreciate a couple of minutes. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Guys. Yeah, I got to read you the Leon Rice quote. I hadn't seen this one, and I totally understand why San Diego State didn't play in the NIT, but Boise, a little highfalutin with some of these comments from Leon Rice.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55-plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Sometimes life calls a technical foul. That's where you're going to need the assistance of an outstanding criminal attorney, like our winning team at the Vegas Lawyers. Whether it's representation for DUI, domestic violence, record sealing, or any other criminal defense issue, we will assist you through all of the legal complexities. Don't double dribble with your future. The Vegas Lawyers, where compassion and strong legal representation come together. Go to thevegaslawyers.com.
This is JT the Brick for Finley Volvo Las Vegas. How about a 39-month lease for only $639 for the 2026 Volvo XC60 SUV? What a beautiful car. That's $39.98 due at lease signing, 10,000 miles per year. And you want to talk about a refresher. Mid-size luxury SUV, I got one for you. If you're considering buying or leasing a luxury SUV, you have to see and test drive a Volvo.
When our passion in the bedroom faded, I thought my husband wasn't attracted to me. I worried, I questioned everything, but I learned it wasn't that at all. Those expensive blue pills just weren't working.
At hardernaturally.com, our urologists treat the blood flow problem that causes erectile issues. No pills, no surgery, just a painless 15-minute treatment. Find us at hardernaturally.com.
Nick here with Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill. Summerlin, it's official. Stefano's is now open on Lake Mead in Buffalo. Come enjoy our beautiful dining room designed for family meals, quick lunches, and everything in between. Or swing by for fast, easy takeout with all your favorites. Gyros, bowls, shawarmas, kebabs, and our famous baklava. Our salad dressings and marinades are made with no seed oils. And our must-try fries are cooked in 100% avocado oil. The new Stefano's in Summerlin is now open. Come taste what everyone's talking about. Stefano's, real food, real fast, real healthy.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Have you ever felt like the odd man out at a friend's house watching the game? After years in the sports betting industry, I can teach you the rules of different sporting events so you can now be part of that crowd of cheering fans with an understanding of the game. Yes, I can teach you how to place a bet on a game from a completely perspective because you too can be a winner. Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com. That's BetMoneyHoney.com.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, North Carolina out to a 12-point lead, 36-24, 2 minutes left in the first half. That is a 6-11 matchup with VCU. Howard and Michigan, 116, 16-1. That just tipped off about 2 minutes in. We've got two more games after this coming up at both around 4:35. Texas A&M and St. Mary's, and Texas and BYU.
Yeah, buddy.
You seen anything so far with North Carolina?
They're beating the crap out of VCU right now, and that was a very popular selection too. Talk about many upsets. VCU about a 2.5-point underdog, and a lot of people like the Rams early on, though. Still got plenty of time.
So postseason play for the Mountain West Conference mostly reserved for the NIT.
Yes.
Utah State is in. San Diego State and Boise State, I assume, were both invited. And it is one of the reasons UNLV is in, because I think UNLV was probably towards the bottom of the list, and they jumped at the opportunity. They took advantage of it in a win over Irvine. Nevada took advantage of it with a win over Murray State, and now they'll host Liberty. We'll give you details on what's going to happen with UNLV in terms of the road spot on the way. Leon Rice from Boise was talking about, this is after the season ended, I guess some frustration that maybe his team wasn't tough enough, and he said, we're going to go out and get some dogs. We're hunting for them. This doesn't sit well with any of us, the way the season ended. And when asked about postseason, like the NIT, he said, I don't care about any postseason. We're not into consolation prizes at Boise State, so I don't care about that. Boise State basketball, which has been good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he hasn't won in the NCAA tournament. Now, if what he's saying, hey, the players don't care, they're not going to enjoy playing in the NIT, then that's one thing. But you think it's a little overboard with the consolation prize? At Boise State, we don't care about consolation prizes. Okay.
It's a little strong. I mean, look, they won the regular season title back in 2022. That was also the same year that they won the conference championship in the tournament, but that's also the only time they've done it under Rice, as far as I remember. So I guess, but you don't exactly have like the long track record of what you're alluding to of postseason success. As much as I hate them, that is a line for San Diego State, who made a run to a national championship game. Boise State, who has consistently, along with other Mountain West teams, flamed out when they get to the NCAA tournament. That does not really come across well.
And that's why when Dutcher explained the case that they were kind of beat up, I don't think San Diego State was going to care.
Mm-hmm.
See, San Diego State and New Mexico actually were on the cusp. Like, I was surprised by New Mexico the other night that they came out and freaking boat raced.
Yeah.
Sam Houston State put up 100 plus. But yeah, Leon's getting a little full of himself there. But, moving forward, I promise I will talk less and less about the Mountain West Conference disloyal 5. We'll still keep an eye on what Boise State does in football. We're going to be at the Final Four, and our coverage during the NCAA tournament on ESPN Las Vegas and at the Final Four is in part brought to you by Finley Honda Henderson. Welcome to the difference. So I was looking at the opening odds. Now, these have been updated. I was looking at the opening odds to the NIT. Nevada and UNLV are both still in it. New Mexico is still alive. You know, UNLV opened up towards the bottom at 60-1. Now, they're still very much a long shot because the path the entire way to get to Indianapolis, where the Final Four for the NIT is being held, the path is going to be entirely on the road. They're at Tulsa next, and then after that, they're in their bracket. They're going to play the winner of Wichita State and Oklahoma State. So 3 straight road tilts. I saw Kamani Hamilton shouted out by some account I hadn't seen before. He did play really well in that Irvine game, but he is sort of the linchpin on this team. Can he keep it together for 3 games to get to a 4th and 5th?
Yes.
That wasn't like you didn't yell that out.
No, I mean, like you said, I keep going back to the Utah State game that he had been playing well. He had 2 fouls in the game prior, but after that, he kind of fell apart. Can you keep it going?
I just love the way he attacked the rim, and I know he's done it at times during the season, but man, he had a couple of times because that kid Evans is a good shot blocker, and he was like, "You are not blocking my shot." Boom!
Nick here with Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill. Summerlin, it's official. Stefano's is now open on Lake Mead and Buffalo. Come enjoy our beautiful dining room designed for family meals, quick lunches, and everything in between. Or swing by for fast, easy takeout with all your favorites. Gyros, bowls, shawarmas, kebabs, and our famous baklava. Our dressings and marinades are seed oils. And our must-try fries are cooked in 100% oil. The new Stefano's in Summerlin is now open. Come taste what everyone's talking about. Stefano's. Real food, real fast, real healthy.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account. And you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager in Nevada. Up today, and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, ask them.
Where are you based?
When you call the Richard Harris Law Firm, you already know we're local.
I grew up here, so did Josh.
Local matters. Who you hire matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm.
If you're considering purchasing a new or used Honda or need to service your current vehicle, go to the Name Las Vegas Trust for exceptional sales, service, and parts. Finley. Whether you're up north, down south, or somewhere in between, you're always just 15 minutes away from a Finley Honda store. Each location has friendly and knowledgeable sales and service professionals. So give us a call or stop in anytime. Finley Honda's in Centennial Hills and Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall. The difference is in the name.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The tournament is here, and Total Wine & More is your slam dunk headquarters. Whether you're cheering courtside from your couch with crisp craft beers, smooth bourbons, or refreshing seltzers, we've got the perfect lineup to keep your watch party winning. And just like your bracket, we've got a lineup full of contenders. Whether you're picking favorites or going for bold upsets, our friendly guides will help you find amazing drinks for every matchup. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
One moment can turn life upside down. Your comeback starts with the right team by your side. At DeCastro Verde Law, we've spent decades helping injured Nevadans take back their lives. We never back down. We never give up. We're the DeCastro Verde Brothers, and we have your back. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastro Verde Law, the brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com.
This sports update is brought to you by Circa Las Vegas. Check out all the exciting sports action at Stadium Swim. 6 pools, a 143-foot screen, daybeds, cabanas, and more. For more info, visit circalasvegas.com.
West Women's Golfer of the Week, while her teammate Demi Dew collected the Freshman of the Week award. The Vegas Golden Knights host the Utah Mammoth tonight at 7.
Can you believe what they just said?
It's the dumbest. I don't get this.
I can't do it. Join the conversation. Hit up the Finley Kia text line, 702-364-1100. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
4 games in action now in the NCAA tournament after a pretty entertaining morning slate. If you didn't see it, Wisconsin out, loses the High Point. Duke actually got challenged for a good 32 minutes against Siena before Siena got a little bit tired down the stretch. And North Carolina right now is actually out to a good start against VCU. What's the latest?
We are at halftime for those two. UNC up 39-28 at the break.
St. Mary down 9-2, 5 minutes in against Texas A&M. Texas BYU going back and forth, high-scoring first 5 minutes, 15-12. Texas is on top, and Howard struggling offensively, just 6 points through about 6+. Michigan leads 16-6. So we're going to have to check in with Danny Smythe on this one, because was Danny the only one who did the 999 challenge last year at LV Ballpark?
I mean, he was the one that completed it. Jared gave it a shot. I was there. Jared tried, but Jared failed.
Right. Jared should not be drinking 9 beers ever in one sitting. The challenge is?
Are you asking 9 beers and 9 hot dogs over the course of 9 innings of a baseball game?
What are the rules?
I don't think there's really any rules.
Do you get them all at once and you can just smash them early, or do you have to take a break and it's you do a hot dog and a beer each inning?
Now, I would like to establish that it has to be a hot dog and a beer each inning, because that makes it somewhat of a challenge. The way they did it when we did it at the Aviators game was just complete 9 beers and hot dogs over the course of 9 innings, which I think is easy. Like, not easy, but that format is easier than being forced to complete 1 beer and 1 dog over the course of a single inning.
Why is that?
Time. Well, because first, it forces you to stick to a pace that maybe you don't want to stick to.
Yeah.
Some innings are quicker than others. So that's the other part.
You can
right. So like, what if a team comes up and it's just 2 immediate first pitch pop flies, and you're like, oh, okay, we got to get this going. Those are the things that I think really make it somewhat interesting. Now, again, that's a half inning, so you still have the other half inning, but forcing you to work toward a pace as opposed to letting you space it out the way you want makes that the challenge, I think.
I got really excited seeing that Major League Baseball teams are actually going to intro this at concession stands and do their own 999 challenges. The squads are the Phillies, the Mets, the Giants. Of course, my first concern is I want to see what they're trying to get out of the buyers of this. Like, how expensive is this? 9 hot dogs, 9 beers in 9 innings. But then I saw this line. Reacting to it. This is what happens when dorks in major league front offices decide they want to be cool. Because with this 999 challenge, there is a little paper kind of bin box. And it does look neat, but I really didn't focus in on what the hot dogs look like and what the beers look like. As it says here, 9 mini hot dogs that are essentially pigs in a blanket with a rebrand, and 9 shots of beer served in embellishing a little bit, served in a container that can only be described as a toddler cup.
I mean, the beers are pretty small.
They're small.
And it looks like it's just 4.5 hot dogs. It's like 4 hot dogs cut in half. You can't do it.
Why are we doing this?
Right, because they're trying to get in on it.
Why do we do things like this?
They're trying to get in on the popularity of a trend. That's the other thing about the comping. This is what happens with dorks. Try to act cool. This has been a thing now for a couple of years. I believe Danny and Jared attempted theirs a year and a half ago now. But now you're trying to get in on it. And then when you do, you make it less cool by what you try to do, which is giving 9 mini hot dogs and 9 very small beers.
It's pretty weak.
It is. You got to give the 9 dogs, full dogs, and make it cheaper, by the way.
So let's say so how many beers total do you think it is? It's really like 4
looking
beers,
at the actual
if
ones,
that?
yeah, probably about 4.
4 beers and 4 hot dogs. What do you think they're charging?
Ooh. 60, like 60, $70 total, maybe more.
Really?
The beer's going to be more
For
expensive.
9 mini hot dogs and 9
Oh,
shots
I thought you
of
meant
beer.
like normally.
No,
If
what
it's-
does this
what
box
this
cost?
is? Oh. $40, $50?
I mean, I think 40 is a decent price point. I'm not in
Sure.
love with it, but if they're charging like $70
Yeah.
for 4 hot dogs and essentially 4 beers.
I thought you meant how much the actual challenge would cost, because that's the other aspect of the challenge is you have to buy the 9 hot dogs. And
Yeah, by the way, with a challenge, shouldn't there be a discount if you finish it?
Sure.
Do you think the Mets, the Phillies, or the Giants have anything layered in here with their challenge? They're like, hey, now it's only $10 because you finished it.
Right. When you get the whole like, hey, you get it for free if you finish it, but if you don't, you have to pay for the full thing. No, there was no way they would do that for you. No shot.
I don't love this. So someone said in response, do not buy the box. Do the real thing. Show up to the ballpark with the right people, right attitude, right commitment level, and complete the actual challenge the way it was designed. If you cannot do that, then sit in your seat and eat a regular hot dog like a normal person, and do not claim credit for something you did not earn. This sounds like someone on our show.
Yeah.
Very angry about this. It's supposed to be fun, and now it's become super intense.
Well, it is lame.
It is lame.
But I would never be able to do it either. Like the regular challenge, I don't think I'd be able to do it.
We can't do it now.
Well, no,
You're not
now,
eating.
not now, but
So now you're not conditioned to be Actually, you know what? You're getting in better shape. So this might actually give you a shot during the summer. You could do this. All the competitive eaters are thin. There's only one who's still fat. Badlands Booker does the giant jug of lemonade. I don't know how he does it, but he can't eat like the other. Everyone else is like lifts weights. They're thin. Chestnut's like one of the fattest guys, and he's not fat.
Yeah. But they also train their stomachs.
They do train their stomachs.
Yeah. I'm not much of a, I've been getting fuller easier lately. Smaller meals, Steve.
Well, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out for you because you are going to be much more athletic in the future.
That's the plan. I'm already sneaky athletic.
So speaking of that,
sprinting the other day.
I'm pretty sure it was Willie.
Surprising speed.
When we were talking about the combine, the NFL combine, that suggested that we do a combine here at Lotus Broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And for like 10 or 12 years, I've said the same thing when we come up with these contests. We're not going to do it.
Nobody wants to do it.
We're just not going to be organized to do it.
Well,
and then of course Willie followed up because one of the with the combine, one of the things I love the most, obviously there is the vertical leap, the broad jump, the 40. There's throwing up the 225 as many times as possible. There's also the stupid hand measurement where you're looking for baby hands on a quarterback or you're not. But Willie started coming out with suggestions for events, and they were all lifting events.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
what was he doing? Like deadlift?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not going to get in a squat rack. And he doesn't talk like that. But I'm like, I mean, I guess I will, but we're not doing like 7 lifting events.
You can do Zercher squats. That's
What's
what I
the point? Can we show some athleticism?
Zercher.
Which we've had a lot. You're very much speaking under your breath a lot today. John Von Tobel's here. That's the guy mumbling. I've always been concerned with the way sports talk radio is viewed from an athleticism standpoint. Because there are some really bad staffs out there that embarrass the rest of us. So what you have is you get the jockocracy.
Correct.
Or you get current day athletes or the jockocracy who believe that they're uber athletes and that everyone who works in sports talk radio is a complete dork.
Yeah. I would like to say for our show, I think the hand-eye coordination is very good.
How do you know that?
Well, I've seen Adam shoot basketballs. Yeah. I know you used to play baseball. And I know my own hand-eye coordination is, I think, average to above average. So I think we would be able to, those types of sports, we would fare well.
There's one, we got into this a few weeks ago. There is one hand-eye area that I'm not good at, and that is shooting. Shooting, archery, axe throwing.
Okay.
But it was explained to me that like my eyes are jacked up because I've got one really weak eye and one strong eye, and I think I was turned the wrong way.
Okay.
I needed to go the other way. So whatever. I'm never going to be good at that. But I know this. Like running, I think we would all, maybe not Adam, but we'd all be okay. Not saying everyone's running the 40, and although you know what, we haven't got the follow up on Q. Q, you remember this? You were there. Q made a bet at Super Bowl with Ryan Hogue that he was going to run a sub 540.
Sub 5?
$1,000. I'm like, you're not young.
When are we doing this? It takes 10 seconds. When are we doing this?
Like I said, maybe he already did it and we don't know about it.
Can I get money in the pot?
I don't know anyone
sub
who's gonna
5
bet on him. I think we're gonna have a sliding scale, and I think we're gonna have to make it more interesting, like 5.2 or 5.4.
No, he said sub 5.
No, I think there has to be other bets. What is he gonna do? He's gonna put up $4,000 because I think we'll all want a piece of it. I don't think I want to put 1,000 in, but I'm in for more than a few hundred.
I just got into some money, Steve, and we're gonna talk about it later. So I'm down to put. I'll match.
You hadn't heard this?
No,
they were talking about it. It was like he tweeted it out during the Super Bowl. I'm like, what are you, nuts?
This is insane.
Well, because Hogue's a big trash talker, and Hogue's still in pretty good shape. And Hogue, hung out around the NFL as, a practice squad guy and, some stints here. Well, but Ryan's also a former college level sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have told the story before, I threw Hogue off one time where I was like, I mean, amongst contributors on the show, Ryan, you are actually just the third fastest guy, because he had run maybe like a 10.4700, which is really good.
Yeah.
But we had Stanford route and we had Mark McMillan.
Yep.
I'm not saying Mark can do it now,
but
those are both like four. Like I think Mark was sub 4.4.
Wow.
Sorry, Ryan, you're not
sub
that fast.
5.
And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, sub 5."
Yeah, no way.
From a 40-something-year-old.
I mean, he wears a lot of tracksuits.
He does. I don't know. That means he runs. There's a lot of people on my Italian side of the family who wear a lot of tracksuits. I don't think they can run. So what I'm getting at here is we build this up. Q's going to run the 40. We're not going to do anything. Trust me. It's not going to happen.
I mean, I'll run it for fun.
They actually did this at a Wisconsin station, right?
Mm-hmm. Where we're going to talk about with ESPN Milwaukee.
What they do?
So,
because I don't know if we're getting ESPN Milwaukee host on.
No?
We're trying. I don't know. We'll see.
He won't respond? Okay. So Ben Brust used to play for Wisconsin, does radio out there. They have a team member that I guess they hold a regular combine for him because he is one of the bigger trash talkers on the air. And this is the first one they posted, I guess, or the first one that I've seen.
It's not good.
My man is in big trouble. The athleticism is not there. The running, you talk about this all the time about watching people's gait and the way that they run and the way that they walk, and you could tell whether or not that, even if they're overweight or out of shape, that they at least have the capabilities of being something.
Dude, I'm telling you, we had a guy here. We'll carry this over. We had a guy here named Darian, a younger dude, probably like 23, 24 years old, and he told this whole story about how he played on a state runner-up basketball team he was from Baltimore in the state of Maryland. And nothing against people. Like maybe there are some athletes who kind of duck walk, but his feet kind of were turned out and he was real heavy legged.
Yeah.
I know this sounds weird, but he did like, it was a real effort for him to walk. I'm like, you did not play basketball on a state championship level team. And then of course we looked it up and he wasn't anywhere to be found.
They had this
you can tell generally. So someone's got a bit of athleticism.
They had this host run had the shuttle run.
Oh my God.
Looked awful. Immediately ran straight up. Had no lateral quickness whatsoever.
He's a high runner.
Yep.
Think of an NFL running back and then a high running NFL running back.
Yeah.
And then erase that from memory. Yep. Like with no athleticism, that's this guy.
They asked him to bench 135, which I actually looked up the statistics on this. That's harder than you think. Like not as many men past a certain age can bench 135.
How old is this guy?
He looks like he's in his late 20s.
And he wasn't like 5'3", 200. He looked like he was probably 6 foot 180.
But the second that barbell left that rack,
right to the chest,
and he could not move it. That's crazy. Couldn't move it. That's the crazy. It was just lead on his chest that was not going anywhere. We'll have to ask Ben about this.
I don't know if I could do it. I'm weak. I'm a weak old man. 5 o'clock hours on the way.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros.
You know, Josh, workers' compensation is such a nightmare to navigate on your own.
That's right. Workers' comp is workers' complicated.
Exactly. You should never try to get work comp without us.
No one knows workers' compensation like we do.
The Richard Harris Law Firm. William Hill Sportsbook is your home court advantage for March Mania. Bet every round, every upset, every minute with the William Hill mobile app. Build your starting lineup with a same-game parlay for a shot at a big payout. Or beat the buzzer with an early cash out to secure your winnings. Download the William Hill mobile app today and place wagers 24/7. For more information and to find your nearest location, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700.
Only in Vegas, only at one of the most pristine courses in the country, Shadow Creek Golf Club. April 2nd to 5th, the Aramco Championship brings together the very best in women's golf. Watch world number 1 Gino Titikin, major champion Minjee Lee, global star Charlie Hull, and many more stars compete for a $4 million purse in a world-class setting built for unforgettable moments. This is your chance to see the game's biggest stars up close. Buy your tickets now on SeatGeek.com.
Level up any sub with Pepperoncini Pepper Jack. Back for a short time only. Order today at portofsubs.com.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
It's March. You know what that means. College hoops. It takes center stage, and we'll have all your action right here on the Las Vegas Sports Network.
Brought to you by Finley Toyota. We're here for you.
Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. Live from the Finley Toyota studio.
Met in the paint by Hoiberg, lost it near the baseline, and a turnover by Troy, Nebraska ball.
You cannot mess around with the basketball if you're in the vicinity of Sam Hoiberg. Hey, if you start to pick up the ball casually and look around, that ball's gone. As Bryce Sanford is now finally getting subbed out, that's when you hear the roar of the crowd, the appreciation for their sharpshooter.
23 points, 7 of 12 for 3.
You're listening to ESPN Las Vegas.
Nice job today by the Lotus Broadcasting Vast Sound crew, pulling all the highlights. 14 threes for Nebraska. One of the easier victories of the day over Troy, 76-47. We'll continue talking about the NCAA tournament, get you updated on scores. But John just got us started on something. We like to brag a lot on the show and talk about athletic exploits. Although as the old guy on the show now, I've really gotten kind of weak with my trash talk because I'm like, I don't think I can do anything anymore. I want to bring in Ben Brust, who, of course, played college basketball at Wisconsin, is part of ESPN Milwaukee. John just turned me on to this video of some dude doing their combine. It wasn't going well. Ben, how are you? It's John and Steve here in Vegas.
Hey, guys. I do not get emotionally attached to many teams, and I haven't gotten attached to the Badgers. But after 5 top 15 wins recently, I was all in, and I was let down.
I got to tell you, when we just texted a couple minutes ago to confirm you were coming on, I really, if you had sent back like I don't have it in me today, I don't think I would have it in me. I'd be pissed. I don't think I would do a radio spot. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, look, like again, that's where it's like if I could be honest with you guys, we were at a remote broadcast at a bar, and sound on, and we were on from 2 to 5 Central. The game started at 12:50 Central, so we basically went on the air the start of the second half. And so to start watching that and like the first hour of the show was just a slow death. That made it really tough. And then like not being able to indulge as the rest of the bar is drinking away the pain and then taking calls from fans who are angry. I was like, get me out of this torture. I love what I do, but this is as painful as it gets. Not only am I experiencing the loss, I can't cope. I can't get away, and I'm just living in it.
So what is this? I mean, I don't want to go immediately there, but I guess the question has to be asked. He's been there for a while. What does this mean for Greg Gard? You can't get out of the first round again here.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to BYU last year in the round of 32. Yeah. That was a good game. But the difference this year was it was all on John Tonje last year. Blackwell was on the team, but he wasn't as good. When you go from beating Michigan on the road, beating Illinois on the road, beating Purdue on the road, whooping Michigan State at home, which a lot of teams do win their home games, but then following up with, in the Big Ten tournament, beating Illinois full strength, coming down to Yaxel, the Big Ten Player of the Year, hitting a 3 when you're tied 60-60, it's hard not to get excited when Brad Underwood and Dusty May are talking about how they're happy Wisconsin's not in the region, and like you're getting praise from two of the better teams in the conference and really established coaches. So it was hard not to get excited. I really wasn't worried about High Point. If I'm being completely honest, I got Old Take exposed today because I was pretty confident in this game. And Arkansas would have been a great matchup. Acuff, I think, is undervalued just because he's a little bit smaller of a guard, and it's hard to jump your way up in the mock drafts at his size. But I think he's freaking amazing. But that athleticism from Brazil would have been tough if you're getting out rebounded by High Point 13-5 on the off glass. Arkansas would have done that more. So, I don't know, but you have the offense. For me, it's hard thinking how I did the right thing, evolving the Wisconsin basketball program to like a faster pace. They have more possessions. They score a lot of points, but they rob Peter to pay Paul. And now the defense is like 60th plus in KenPom. And, you know, when you're letting a guy who shot 6 2s the entire year make 6 3s in one half, like that just never would have happened when we were playing. But now I sound like the guy at the bar, which I'm about to go be in a little bit.
So you talk about the evolution. So this team, the last year was also a top team in terms of tempo. The two previously has been, as you know, and you alluded to, they're actually like in the 300s in terms of tempo. So do you think that this is a wake-up call? They go back under guard? I mean, the last 2 years defensively have been somewhat lacking, or is this, hey, we're going to stick to our...
It definitely wasn't a success in the tournament, losing to James Madison. The Badgers have also, 5 of the last 6 times they've been a 5. They've been on the bad side of the 5s. They've lost 5 of 6 times as a 5 seed. The difference is here is you were able to track AJ Storr, although that he's kind of been a disaster and playing at 6 different schools since high school to Ole Miss today. He was from St. John's, then you got him in there. Then you got Tanjay, then you got Nick Boyd. So they're able to get talent. And I think you can attract talent. I asked Frank Kaminsky today, I was like, hey, like, how do they mirror and marry a little bit of the concepts that we had with the way that they play? And I just think they're missing like an athletic big. There's really, when you look across the Big Ten, there's really no like SEC Big 12 athleticism at the 5 spot or even the 4 spot. Like, who comes in and is like, I don't care that it's High Point, I'm getting every rebound because we play in the Big Ten. Like, how does a team out rebound Illinois, one of the tallest teams in the country, in the Big Ten tournament, and then get out rebounded by High Point? Like, that just can't happen. And so guards got to find a way to marry the offensive style, up tempo pace with the offensive efficiency, with like maybe a couple pieces that, like, depending on the game flow you put in there, even if it hurts your offense a little bit, you know you're going to limit some of those runs that they give up defensively. So I'm in a tizzy. I'll be honest with you guys. It sucks. I bought in. I haven't bought in a while. I bought in this year. Boyd and Blackwell scored 34 and 35 in back-to-back games. So that's all. That's all I got on Wisconsin. Yeah. I really do. And now I'm just going to be a basketball fan and look at lines and bet accordingly and do this more sad. But happy.
Ben Bruss is with us. Don't be sad. He's up on Cofield and Company, nice enough to join us here on this Thursday. I just wanted to kind of seriously look at this, but also joke about it. These last 2 years, arguably their best player were both guys from the Mountain West Conference, and UNLV is here. They're in the Mountain West. UNLV actually has a player who came over from Illinois and had a great year this year, and Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn. I wonder if Wisconsin, again, looking to still be up tempo, is going to look to the Mountain West for more guard help. There is a big in this conference in Magoon Guath. He's not exactly a sturdy big. He's 7 foot and like 190 pounds. But I wonder if they're going to dip into the Mountain West again with big money to steal some more guys.
If you're talking about the SDSU big, I do love him.
Yep.
But again, I think I need some more attitude. Like, I think there's too Midwest nice around the Wisconsin program right now. I need somebody that wants to get dirty. Like, we even say this about the Packers. Like, they need some more guys with character flaws. Like, now, I know that's not what you want, but you kind of get where I'm going. You just need a little more edge. Boyd brought that at the guard position, but like, I'm talking about in the trenches. And I use that because I was just talking about the Packers, but I really do mean that inside when, you're getting out of a high point. That just can't happen.
Which school from the Big Ten? We know Michigan. Well, I picked them to win the national title, but give me your opinion on Michigan. They're up 9 right now with 3 minutes left in the first half. Did you have a team other than Wisconsin that you really, really, really liked out of the Big Ten to win the national title?
Yeah, so a lot of I might be speaking your guys' language in Vegas. People do a lot of Calcuttas when the bracket's out. I do one in January, which makes it hard to sort of project, teams with where they're going to be in January before conference play starts. And I bought into Michigan. I would probably say Michigan is. I'm feeling iffier about it. LJ Kaysen going down was a good spark off the bench. I think I maybe did the bought high when they were winning every game by 20 plus points to start Big Ten play. That being said, they still have a very, very talented roster and can absolutely do it. I think they're basically a shoe-in to the Sweet 16 with their draw. Illinois, I feel like Underwood is gotta do it sometime, and they're finally a full squad. I'm not buying Purdue. Nebraska Vandy will be fun, but neither of those have the chance to go to the Final Four, in my opinion. Other than that, I don't buy Michigan State. They have no skill. Fears can barely shoot. They have good bigs, but they have no outside shooting. I would sell Michigan State big time. But what do I know? I just had the Badgers beating High Point.
Who is the stud freshman that will take his team the furthest?
Acuff. I freaking love Acuff. Okay. I think when you are averaging 25 points a game in arguably the toughest conference and also lead the league in assists, shoot a 40% clip from 3, he just has that level. And I know the sexy pick is AJ Devonza from BYU, but I love Acuff. I do. It's now that I don't have to watch him against Wisconsin. I'm probably an Arkansas fan the whole way, which is weird considering Calipari ended my college career.
All right, we're going to give you a break from the college basketball talk and get to this combine thing you guys did. So who came up with the idea, and then what are you guys actually doing? Because we saw a video of one of the dudes, I don't know if he's a host or a producer, was not looking real smooth running and then trying to lift 135.
Yeah, he's the producer of the show that I do. He's a very unique individual. He has more self-confidence than anybody I've ever met in my life, of somebody that shouldn't have self-confidence. We did this last year. The 3-cone drill was really tough, and he was like, "Oh, it's fun." But this was a wake-up call for him as a engaged man who couldn't bench 95 pounds. So he's calling himself the revolutionary because everyone after he couldn't do 95 pounds then went to the gym to make sure they weren't as weak as him, and everyone succeeded because I don't know if you can be that weak. But Caleb Williams has retweeted a couple things of his combine because I feel like that's the Gen Z thing, is to get in on the conversation. And they were like, someone was like, "Don't make fun of my QB's painted nails and whatnot," and Caleb Williams retweeted that. So it's kind of, I think it's fun that there's this much interaction. I'm just from the old school that I would just laugh and not engage with it, but it makes this whole Caleb Williams, Jordan Love conversation fun for us in the Midwest.
I mean, I give him credit. He put himself out there for everybody to see. I have watched the video a lot.
You don't understand. I watched that 3-cone drill at least 150 times the same day it happened. I've never seen somebody turn a corner around a cone doing a loop like they were going around a roundabout with a car. I can't, no human being should be able to move like that, but yet the person that I have running the show every day does that.
I mean, so I put it in this context. It's not even like hey, you got to be strong and tough and be able to bench 135. Then what if he's in a terrible situation?
Well, did you not see the 9? Did you not see the 95 pounds?
Oh,
no. Do 95 pounds.
I saw the 95 as well. And my thought was, what if a dresser falls on him in an earthquake? I thought about his personal safety.
He wouldn't qualify for if and I think he's got a bright future in our career. But if it doesn't work out, we got to eliminate 60% of jobs that have anything to do with manual labor. He's not going to make it in the trades.
How much are you benching these days, Ben?
Oh, okay. Now we're getting to brass tacks.
I mean, I know I did 135, again, I was like, all right, just go down and make sure you can do it. I was like, all right, I pumped a couple out. I was like, I'm not pushing myself anymore. But that was like a scary thing because I'd had a kid 2 years ago and I kind of let myself go the last 2 years. But I was like, all right, at least I can still do that. I'm not as pathetic as I thought I was.
Well, we appreciate a couple minutes here on this sad day for Wisconsin fans. One last thing, you mentioned the Packers a bunch of times. We have a real interesting situation here with the Raiders. Obviously, they want to get better, and their win total is pretty low right now at 5.5, trending a little bit over depending on what they get in the draft. What are expectations for the Packers now that the division has gotten kind of interesting? And I'll also throw in a second question. I like the Vikings a lot, but I'm the only fan of Kyler Murray left. I like that addition a lot. So what are Packers fans feeling right now?
Oh, what I can tell you is this. If you think about Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, since Aaron Rodgers got knocked out of the playoffs when they just beat a Lions team that lost all hope after Seattle punched their ticket at 3 o'clock, and Detroit on Sunday Night Football with nothing to play for beat Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers in his last game at Lambeau Field. The next 3 years of Jordan Love have also yielded no NFC North. So they've been a 7 seed 3 straight years. You got to win the North. That's where it starts. You got to win the North. You can't be playing playoff road games, especially when people in Wisconsin think of Titletown and Lombardi. Like sooner or later, you got to put up or shut up. And they extended Goody, LaFleur, the whole gang. So I think they're in an interesting spot where they need results, but also they just said, well, maybe you don't need results because we just extended you because we're good with sustained success. So I think they need to win the division. I think they need to, with the Bears coming up, the Lions had a down year. They're in that 4th place schedule. They love beating up on good teams. I do agree. I'm not anti Kyler. I'm not a pro Kyler, but he's definitely an upgrade from JJ. That being said, like the roster around them, like they have a good roster. Like it just has been the quarterback. They won 8 games with Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy, which no one believed in. So if they figure something out, that's going to be a tough division. But the Packers got to do it because it was Aaron Rodgers' division forever, and now it's slipping away. So it'll be a big year.
Ben, we appreciate it. Sorry about your Badgers. Have fun tonight if you can.
I'll do my best, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Ben. Ben Brust, former guard, sharpshooting guard, but he might be able to shoot still. He probably can. Mm-hmm. He's not that old.
No, he's not. Oh, yeah.
Win totals in the NFC North. Who's going to nail this one in terms of predictions?
Okay.
Lions are 10.5 with a lean on the over. Vikes are 8.5. Bears are 9.5. And the Packers, these are all William Hill numbers. The Packers are sitting at 10.5. So by these numbers, you'd have Bears, then Lions. I think I screwed that up already. No, I did. That's right. Yeah, Bears, then Lions, then Packers, then Vikings. I think the Bears could finish in last.
Oh, I think all of them could.
And I mean, like, when it's last, it ain't 5 wins.
Right.
But this is about as wide open as a division has ever been in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, they could be last with 7 or 8 wins.
And so much of it depends on how much did the schedules matter last year, especially with the Bears.
Bears, Patriots, we saw it all.
But in that division.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
The Bears had a fortunate break with their schedule. What do you think of Kyler Murray? We haven't talked about this in the week since he signed.
I would agree with you that I think that the upside is there. He's still very athletic. He's got a good arm. He's got all the capabilities. There's something to be said of having a quarterback that can just go out there and run the offense for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Murray can do that. There's been, and there probably will be, times where he's made comments about, hey, I think the offense is best with the ball in my hands, running around, extending plays. There's probably going to be some times where that drives Kevin O'Connell crazy, but that offense is good enough that if he can do what O'Connell wants him to do a majority of the time, they're going to be a very adequate and good team.
But here's the thing with Kevin O'Connell. You signed him. You know who he is.
Right.
Now they're going to try to change him a little bit. But you signed him to be who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I find fascinating too, though? And I don't want to say this without really knowing Carson Wentz. I don't know that Carson Wentz has a great reputation as a guy. And he's being brought in to be a team guy.
Well, he's been on the team. He was on the team last year.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're right. So then But he ain't. I don't know. There's some weird stuff. I thought there was weird stuff around. You know what's funny though? I did kind of accuse him of being a bit of a hypochondriac. That whatever game he was getting slaughtered in, and his body language on the sideline sucked. And I forget who was calling the game. They were like, "My God, Carson, like toughen up a little bit." And then we found out like every bone in his body was broken. I'm like, well, I guess he wasn't in a lot of pain. But if O'Connell likes the mix with Wentz around, as I know that he's a mentor, but as a capable backup, and then Kyler Murray.
I think any rebuttal to that would be, you like J.J. McCarthy too. So maybe he doesn't really know how to pick him.
What's going to happen with McCarthy?
I think it's going to go the Anthony Richardson route, especially if Kyler Murray comes in and is Daniel Jones 2.0. All of a sudden,
my question: where is McCarthy going?
That's what I mean. He's going to get flipped for, and we haven't seen Anthony Richardson get traded yet, but he's going to get flipped for whatever pennies on the dollar, and maybe he'll go be a backup somewhere. I don't know.
Fifth round conditional, up to a fourth. You're trading for Anthony Richardson or JJ McCarthy?
I mean, I think you're trading for Richardson, but
I think you're trading for McCarthy.
I think it also depends on like where you're at, who's your team. Do you think you can develop them? The physical skill set of Richardson, who's I believe younger, I'll double check on that one, is worth investing in at a very cheap price, I think.
Neither one of us is objective on this one. Not that I have a Michigan fan bone in my body. Are you sure you're objective on Richardson?
Anthony Richardson's like a half year younger or half older or something.
Am I being crazy, by the way, saying that you could get him for a fifth, or is a fifth too high?
Well, that's what because the point of Richardson too is, I mean, I guess your condition is both of the same price, but I think Richardson might be cheaper too.
He would go for less than that.
I think so. Wow. You got a larger sample size of subpar play. But I mean, dude, the arm's great. The athleticism's better. There's some teams that can look at that and feel like they could fix that.
If you were the Raiders, would you trade for either one of them?
No, I think you're somebody that can actually play some games for you this year.
If you were...
I mean, my idea, I told this to Adam Hill when we were together, I don't know when it was. My real idea was you should trade the first overall pick and also acquire J.J. McCarthy. And then McCarthy could be your quarterback of the future, develop him, go sign a veteran, and then all of a sudden you've got all these assets from trading the first overall pick, plus you've got a young quarterback of the future, and you can go from there. And you would trust that Kubiak can make a guy like McCarthy work. That's just me.
Most of us on the show have planted the flag more in the direction of moving the number one pick.
Yeah.
Now I'm open to Mendoza. I want some real analysis of Mendoza when they actually get to see him throw.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anyone that you trust who's talked about Mendoza?
Not positively. I've seen some.
Me either.
I've seen some that I trust question what that's going to look like when he gets to the pros.
Yeah. A lot of the people who have insisted he has to go number one, the Raiders have to take him, I think have agendas, or I don't trust based on their history that they're not very good at this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have to. Let us be quite honest. He is the number one pick this year by default to an extent because he is the only quarterback that is worthy of a first round pick at this point. As we keep saying, the day before and the day of, when the deadline had approached for the NFL draft, had Arch Manning decided on the last day that he was going to go out, he was going to be the first overall pick.
There's eight teams in the league right now who are like, let's try this year, but let's be careful.
Your team.
Yep.
The Jets said, we could go and try to get Kyler Murray, or we could go and try to do this or that. Instead, we'll just trade for Geno.
There are still people.
If we suck, we suck.
And I'm going to make a mistake on this one. I have to look this one up during the break. Another radio host that I know was ranting and raving about the losing culture mentality before a season that teams are tanking now for next year. And when I hear that, someone getting really mad about that, I'm like, I don't get why you're getting mad. There are franchises that they have no solution at quarterback. They have to be responsible this year and make sure they're in the top 10. They might not get our quarterback class. All right, deal with reality.
Yeah, I don't get that.
The Jets do not need to win 8 games.
Something like that. Like, what's the point?
That's a disaster. The Cardinals can't win.
But
I'm saying they can't win 8. Where you're like 17th pick or whatever, 14th pick.
I mean, I'd argue being 6 and 10, 6 and 10, 6 and 11,
Is
and
it
floating around it's a nightmare place to be.
Yep.
You have to maximize being at the top.
But that's a losing mentality, I guess. I actually think the losing mentality is being in the world where you're okay for 6 to 9 wins.
No. But at least you're trying.
Now,
good mentality.
Should they discount the tickets for the entire year while you're sort of tanking? Yes. I mean, the study of Miami this is fascinating. $175 million in dead cap money. And Achan's the only guy who's going to stay around. But everyone else are like, we got to get rid of him. We have to get for Jan Waddle. He's coming close to, he actually already got his big contract. I forgot he signed for like 28 a year. He has no part on a team that's not going to be good for at least 3 years. They have to get a quarterback. Although I kind of like what they did with Malik Willis. He can't like what they're doing, but I assume they explained to him, like, bro, it's going to be really tough this year. Yeah, some young weapons, and we're going to draft some guys, and we'll be, thrifty. Sure. If free agent market, we're going to try to get you weapons, but this is what we're dealing with here, dude.
Yeah.
And you may, as everyone arrives, young guys, and if you play well, we may give you that contract.
That's why I was surprised you didn't pick Pittsburgh. At least you can make the argument you can be a playoff-ish team. Or maybe it just wasn't there for them. But I'm with you. I don't understand the thought process of all of these he's stuck in purgatory for no reason whatsoever. You have to be able to build towards something. We talk about this all the time. And look, the Raiders. I mean, who knows what Fernando Mendoza is going to be, but they finally did it.
They did a brilliant job this last year, in spite of the fact that their best player they freaking fought the whole freaking thing, tried to shame them. Like, no, they did the right thing.
And
don't win.
As I keep saying every time we talk about this, outside of all of the structure, team building, you know what else it does? If you're a Raiders fan listening right now, guess what you are? You're excited. You're looking forward to next year.
Everyone's excited.
You might have a quarterback of the future. You might have everything you've ever wanted.
Yep.
That's also what matters, because for the team, guess what? That one Raiders fan that was probably out and is like, I'm tired of this. This is dumb. Guess what he might or she might do? She might buy a ticket now.
Mm-hmm.
She might go watch. He might go play. There's so many different aspects to doing what the Raiders did that are good for the team.
We should pull receipts on people who were griping around week 10 or 11 that they didn't like the attitude of people saying tank.
Yeah.
And I know there were people out there. There were people who were really mad about it. They're like, no, they did the right thing. And now you're excited.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've been the talk of the NFL offseason for 4 weeks now. This is absurd. I mean, what's his name? McIntyre on the herd was
J-Mac
yesterday. He's like, oh, is this too much of a hot take that the Raiders have a better shot at the playoffs than the Ravens? I'm like, all right. Let's calm down. I think he's trolling a little bit. He's good at that.
I will say really quickly that is my favorite thing about this time of year is you can really tell in national media, and I know they play the hits, but you can definitely tell who watches college basketball and who doesn't. I was watching as a main topic the Bills off-season grades, and I was like,
can we take a couple of weeks off from the NFL?
It's what do we do?
Yeah, we just did like 8 minutes on it, but still,
not of a second of what's going on.
But you know what? I admire that at times. Yeah. If you don't follow it, don't
try.
Don't force it. Listen, I like the guy. He's one of the heroes of sports talk radio. But the other day, I see Mad Dog Russo, and he's like, St. John Seed, and he's melting down. I'm like, come on, Mad Dog. You didn't watch college basketball the entire season. What are you doing?
Did you see Colin's bracket? Colin Cowherd?
Oh, no. What happened?
He put up, I'm flipping the teams a little bit, but he had Michigan State losing, but then he crossed it out.
Yeah.
Then he put Duke, but then in the next round, he had Michigan State winning. So,
he just got confused.
Yeah, he just got confused. Still put it up, though.
A good spot there by Ben Bruss, the former Wisconsin player. He is part of our college basketball coverage on this Thursday. We're going to be going to the Final Four, and we've got extensive coverage of the NCAA tournament the rest of the way, in part presented by Circa Sports. You can catch all the March hoops action at the Circa viewing parties, Mania Under the Sun at Stadium Swim. You can get super loud in a great environment in the world's largest sports book, Circa Sports. You can kick back in the Galaxy Watch Zone with your crew, or you can go to a private watch zone with your closest friends. Only close friends. Don't forget to download the Circa Sports mobile app, and you can find out about wait times if there are any, reserve your spots, and make sure you're good to go in terms of betting mobily. It's all going down at Circa Sports for March Hoops.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
This is JT for Las Vegas's premier cigar lounge, La Casa Cigars and Lounge at Tivoli Village. You're going to be blown away like I was when I stepped into their walk-in humidor. Over 500 cigar labels to choose from. Plus, they feature one of the largest whiskey, scotch, and bourbon selections anywhere in the valley with live local entertainment 7 nights a week. Great place to watch football games. Check it out at lacasacigars.com.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. If you get hurt in a crash, did you know your lawyer can take more money than you? That's right. You get hurt and the lawyer gets rich. Not very fair, is it? When you hire me, those worries go bye, bye, bye. I promise never to take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
If you're tired of greedy lawyers, call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply. Experience the buzz of the College Basketball Championships for free March 19th through the 22nd at Palms Pool. Cheer on your favorite team poolside. Tap into Palms Casino Resort's special cabana and open bar packages to catch all the fast breaks, rebounds, and dunks in style. Or take it all in from Palms premium couches and daybeds. As always, enjoy free parking. Come experience something new at Palms Casino Resort, where all the action happens. Details at palms.com. Must be 21 to participate.
Out there in the West, they don't mess around. At Godden Ford, right off 215 and Rainbow, they've got the ride that's built to haul, crawl, and roll. The F-150, America's #1 truck with power you can feel. Want to rumble off-road? Get behind the wheel of the rugged Bronco, built for grit and guts. Or take the whole crew in the sleek, powerful Explorer. Head to GoddenFord.com and saddle up for your next adventure. Godden Ford, family owned and run in the West since 1922. Let's ride.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
More Nevada students are using e-bikes and e-scooters for school and activities. Riders should always wear helmets, follow traffic laws, and watch for cars and pedestrians. Safe riding keeps students moving and protects the whole community. Families and youth should know the specific e-bike and scooter ordinances in your community. Learn more at nevadapta.org. That's nevadapta.org. This message sponsored by the Nevada Parent-Teacher Association, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
From birthdays to business meetings or just because, Gray's Craze makes every moment delicious. Artful charcuterie boards made fresh. Visit grayscraze.com. Celebrate everything. Call 702-605-6333. Gray's Craze Charcuterie.
Live from the Findlay Toyota studio.
Through second. No good. Pinion the rebound. 3 seconds left. Pinion at half court. From way downtown for the March Madness logo. No good. That's it. Louisville survives.
You're listening to ESPN Las Vegas.
Good to see Louisville win, South Florida out. Tough break for Brian Hodgson. Games right now, halftime. Check that. Second half, 7 minutes left. North Carolina up on VCU 67-51. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Gonna play some defense? Is this really a halftime score? Michigan 50-46 against Howard?
Ooh, really? I've been locked
what?
into this BYU game.
What's going on here? BYU's down 9 at the half, 46-37 against Texas. And St. Mary's down 11 against Texas A&M at the break. So 3 games at halftime.
Okay. Like it.
You have cryptically mentioned that you came into some money recently.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
I think I know what you're talking about because I'm actually, man, you really are pulling back the curtain on your life, huh? Are you looking to get jacked? You're a public figure. You work at Visa and you're walking down at Circa. What are you doing flashing that you hit a Royal last night?
Well, it doesn't mean I carry all the money.
I guarantee you got the money on you right now. So you can, look, he's got it. I know it. You got it right on you. What'd you tip? How much?
Burning the hole in my pocket, brother.
What was the percentage? What'd you tip?
I gave $20.
Wait, what?
Is that not enough? Is that too much?
We can't have this conversation now. You're out.
No, why? What?
You hit a Royal?
I hit a Royal. And I got 4 fours as well,
Okay.
playing $5 hands.
Okay. So what was the total haul?
Like 13.
You tipped the bartender how much?
20.
Oh, man.
Is that not enough?
You're wow.
Is that not? Am I being told that that's not enough?
Yes, that's really bad.
How is that really bad? She gave me a bottle of water.
Oh, my God.
And didn't acknowledge me the whole time.
I have an insider for everything.
Okay.
I'll
fight on this one.
Let me message. You're going to lose. And
there's no losing.
And the conversation I was ready to have is blown to bits.
Well, why?
Oh, man. All right. So first of all, congrats.
Well, because
let it go for a second. I'm
Okay.
gonna get the inside dope here. But go ahead.
Well, go ahead on what? I mean, you can't hit me with that and just say go ahead.
What are you going to buy?
I'm not going to buy anything.
You're just going to stash it away?
Yeah, you just hold on to it. I mean, I play video poker pretty regularly, so I'll use this to play video poker. See if I can stack some of these winnings. That's about it. I was very quiet when I won it. I was not over the top. Just hit it.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I think normally I don't think celebrating is proper, but I enjoy that fact. I don't play video poker, so when someone hits a Royal, I feel like they beat the system.
Sure.
You know, and that the bartender is going to get a good tip, and everyone's going to feel good.
So the adequate tip that I left after getting a bottle of water, what happened was the reason why I felt like not celebrating. There were 2 women that were sitting next to me on my left that were playing Keno, and they had clearly been playing for a while.
They were struggling.
Yeah, and like they didn't sound too thrilled about the way that it was going, and so I didn't want to be like, because I had just walked in. I was there for just the second half of the SMU Miami, Ohio game, and then I left. So I was in, maybe there for like 45 minutes to an hour, won my money and dipped. So I didn't want to be like, hey, sucks to be you guys. You've been here pounding Michelob Ultras, smoking cigs and doing nothing. I'm out.
That's the second Royal you've hit?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I enjoy it.
So I found
the bartender was nice. I gave her the thing, and she said, that doesn't suck. And I said, yes, it doesn't.
I saw a thread last night.
Perfectly adequate tip.
Saw a thread about going into a neighborhood bar at 2:00 on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Person says, if I walk into your empty Las Vegas neighborhood bar at 2:00 on a Tuesday and your bartender lectures me about how only video poker players can sit at the completely empty bar, I'm never coming back. This person said, must be part of the new Las Vegas, quote, we'll tell you how to spend your money era.
So I would agree and disagree.
What I see, those placards are now on the machines at lots of places. I encountered this briefly, but I didn't get mad. Last night, we tried to go out. My younger brother's in town, and he's been wanting Italian food. So he was like, hey, let's go local Italian. And we walked into a place. It was mobbed. The bar had about 8 empty seats, but every bar spot was a machine spot and had the placard, if you're not actively playing, you can't sit here. And so I looked, turned around, we put our name in. It was going to be an hour wait. And then I looked around. I'm like, we'll drive to this place, and left. This story, though, in the afternoon when the bar is empty, I have encountered this before, and I'll tell my story in a second. But where are you on the placards? And I think what we've got here is the bartender. This is a relationship that is manager to bartender to customer. And I don't know that every customer will be cooperative if they are told to move.
Sure.
I have 1 foot off the stool ready to run if someone wants to come up and play that machine. And oftentimes, if it's myself and the SO, I don't even take a seat. I will stand behind her as she sits there, and she might throw in a 20. But I recognize if there's a big player that could be coming in, this is a Tuesday at 2:00 in the afternoon. We are a 3-shift town. So I get that. What do you think about this?
No, so I think it's just like that. It should be malleable in the sense of, okay, yeah, that's only for players. But if nobody's around, of course you can sit there. You can eat and you can drink and you can do whatever it is. When it starts to get packed and crowded and there's fewer machines left, then yeah, you should probably move when somebody comes in to play.
I've gone into a half-empty bar, Saturday machine. Now, this person doesn't know me. The bartender doesn't know me in this case. But yeah, I'm approaching 30 years and being in town. Again, they don't know me, but before I could even mention I will move, the bartender actually walked over with the drink, turned sideways and goes, we have seats down here, and took my drink and walked me down to the other end of the bar. I was like, okay.
It's aggressive.
I drank it as fast as I could. I threw a 20 for 1 beer and walked out because I like to do that. You know what? I'll fix your wagon. Here's extra money. Now, there are bartenders who could be like, what's your problem, bro?
Yeah.
Now, this thread was awesome because there's over 150,000 views on it. And one of the persons, and again, a lot of it's trolling, but there was a lot of people who were like, did you just move here? Basically, you're an ass. Why are you telling the story? You're an idiot. Someone else said, this did not happen, which was followed by multiple comments. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Now, it's just an approach thing.
But to your point about it being different,
this customer felt it was a little aggressive to get the lecture at an empty bar at 2 in the afternoon.
And maybe this is a little different because I know people there. I know the bartender, but earlier today, before I did my show, I wanted to play a little bit on the machine because I got there early while watching the games, but I sat at a reserved machine. Somebody was going to sit there. Bartender, and I asked, I was like, hey, it's reserved. She said, oh, no, you're fine. Like when they come, you can move.
Right.
But yeah, sit, fine, play. You do it. So it should just be that. It just depends on the situation. If it's the only machine left and everybody's playing, yeah, don't sit there. It's reserved for players. If you're,
I feel more and more there's an unease when you sit there. Like maybe they're fearing that you're going to be resistant.
No, I mean I always sit down. So I've in the past gone with people who don't play, but I'll play. I just say, just sit there. You're fine. They'll tell you to move.
And other people said, hey, just throw a 20 in.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I don't really want to do that either.
Right. I mean, I guess technically you get free drinks. I put in air quotes because you're spending money to get those drinks. But if you're going to drink, you can do that.
It's a tough situation.
So no answer?
But I will admit, not yet. I will admit that there are places I go into I'm just not comfortable, so I just don't go there. Like if I really feel like it's a gaming place and that drinkers aren't welcome, then you just go somewhere else.
Can I say also?
And I don't think they care. They don't care. That's where they make their money, so no big deal.
Not that there's anything wrong with this lifestyle, but I did think, maybe this is because I'm going through a lot of changes in my life, Steve, as you know. Is this who I'm going to be? Am I going to be the bar regular sitting around and playing video poker at night?
How often
make
do you
friends?
How often do you go to this place you went to?
I go to it relatively frequently, but more for food. But I will go there and play. But I don't go enough that they would recognize who I am in terms of being a regular.
Once a month?
Yeah, I would say that's about fair.
Okay.
I think that's ratcheting up. Oh, is this the I don't play there once a month. That's a different question. I go there to eat once a month. That was maybe the second time I've ever played there.
Okay. $1,300 you won.
In total, yeah.
What was the tip you should have left? You left 20.
Yeah, well, how much what is this person saying?
I don't know. We're going to find out. It's waiting with bated breath.
This
This person's not as fast. I needed a weed insider the other day, and that person got back to me with like the longest text I'd ever seen.
That seems like a very fair amount, considering the service that I required, which was 1 bottle of water.
Did you hear the story about Aiden Holloway, the Alabama kid? Where we didn't talk about this together, but Aiden Holloway obviously got popped with weed in his room. You weren't on that day, right?
We talked about it when it broke.
So he had a pound of weed.
Yeah,
and I was asking.
You asked your insider.
How much is that?
If that was a lot, for one person.
Okay. So I did get an answer.
But the number was updated to 2 pounds, wasn't it?
Oh, it's 2 pounds?
Yes. So,
well,
that I think is a lot for a person.
You couldn't smoke like a pound in a month.
I don't.
That was the response I got. They were like, wow, that's a lot.
I think I served adequately.
Are you still stuck on the tip part?
That's a good amount.
Let's see. Yeah, a pound would be a lot. So it'd be about a half an ounce a day, roughly 20 joints a day. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Unless you're doing something cool with it.
So 2 joints an hour. This person's, yep, I knew it. All right. The tip amount's in.
Yeah, so how much is it?
I nailed it.
So what does it say?
You tip $20. This bartender says,
"Oh, it's a bartender. Of course, this is a flawed witness.
They're also an aggressive player.
Okay, still they're a
the
bartender.
First number I thought of when you win 1,300 is you got to give 100.
No, what?
You got to give 100.
Are you joking?
There are some people who expect more than that.
Oh, stop.
It's $100. You got 13 of them.
It's almost 10% of what I won for a bottle of water.
Their vibes.
Oh, no.
They gave you good juju.
No, I didn't. She didn't even acknowledge me. I asked for the water.
So you better at least go back and go, hey, I didn't know.
No, that's terrible. That's awful.
Here's another 30. Give 50.
No shot, dude.
1,300. Wow. Okay.
I had to ask for service. I'm not giving 10% of the winnings. I'm rounding up. It's more like 8.
7.5%.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Cheap.
$20.
She wasn't happy. She gave you a look.
She was fine. She was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Told me have a good day.
I think you made a mistake there.
That's insane.
Congrats, though. Not to guilt you out of your pleasure.
You're not going to guilt me. That's an unreasonable amount of money. You could tell me like, hey, probably 40. Get out of here with $100. Stop.
I have insiders all over town. They know what they're talking about.
That's a flawed source.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's somebody who would directly benefit from me changing my ways. There's no way that you would use that as a source.
We have professional women's golf coming to town, the Aramco Championships, April 2nd to the 5th. We've got 2 pair of tickets. We're going to do caller 7 and 8. Caller 7 and 8 if you want to go watch the ladies out at fantastic Shadow Creek, which is just cool to walk the freaking course. But you're going to watch high-level golf there at the Aramco.
Google AI says 1 to 2%.
It's a second. Google that. That's why robots suck. I told you 3 hours ago. They stink. You can watch the best players in the world of women's golf compete for a massive $4 million prize fund. You can get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com. It's at Shadow Creek. It's the Aramco Championship at Shadow Creek. Caller 7 and 8. Each of you get a pair of tickets. 364-1100, 364-1100.
It's March, which means madness, upsets, buzzer beaters, and Cinderella stories. At Boomer Sportsbook, every game is your game. Download the Boomers app, open your account, and activate it in minutes at Ellis Island, Casino Valley Verde, or Ojos Locos Casino. And when you bet on any team to win the men's college basketball championship, you'll get a $10 bonus bet just for placing it with Boomers. Before you bet, check the price, see why Boomer Sportsbook is where Nevada plays to win. Learn more at betwithboomer.com. Must be 21. Terms and conditions apply. Bet responsibly.
An accident isn't just an accident. It's lost time, lost wages, in a fight you didn't choose. That's where we come in. At DeCasa Verde Law, we deliver serious firepower for serious injuries. We fight to make things right. When you're injured, the choice is